All right, here we go. So I was able to speed up the epidural, the steroid epidural. So hopefully that happens soon. I'm beginning to believe that they screwed up the epidural last time, and I can't even believe I haven't been back to pain management. He definitely punctured the sac, which is like could happen, but I was reading that if the epidural fails, right, they can do a second one within a couple weeks. I couldn't find anything online. If I had the VA increase, then I would. Right. So they had a funny. They did a video at HUD or something. Somebody hacked in with a video at HUD, an AI video of Trump and Elon, in a just not very flattering way. How you doing? Hey man, how are you? All right. So it was pretty bad night. My back pumped up and cramped up, and just really ruins everything. Kind of half. What has to happen, I think, is because it's going between fully cramped up to nothing, which is too loose. Right. So what I have to get like a happy medium, and I really don't think it pays to do any type of massage until I get in there and get this steroid in me. I know I need the L1 done. I'm just hoping there's no L2 mess that has to get handled. I just didn't have the mind. They just kept attacking me. I couldn't see anything. Right. Crying shame that they're allowed to do those type of things. Now the left leg is it's still playing out where the left leg is weaker than the right. That means, that's that sciatic nerve. How you doing? A little cool out here, even though it's going to be a warmer day. I think it warms up later in the day. The sun just kind of peeking out right now. Got a little cloudy. It's going to go back down to like 20% cloud cover now. It's still stuck in the like 70% cloud cover. Actually, no, it's out. Sun's out. Should warm up here in a little bit. Supposedly going to be in the 60s. I might go get my jacket. It's a little cool out here. It was a rough morning, I'll tell you that. Nah, if I could have saw right, I'd have been on my way. Again, I think there are just multiple people willing against it, and it shouldn't be in my business. And again, they trigger my brother, and I think he didn't want me out there, and it's just crazy. Like, but if we just could have pushed through that part, it'd be already done. Right. I would have had a way different last 4 years. You could have helped structure my life back in. And again, I just got to get out there, stay there for a season until the surgery, right, then go into surgery. I don't even have to return to his place. Right. Go to rehab for a couple months, and then wherever I could probably move an hour away from, if it's well and I could walk normal, I could move an hour away from the doctor. Right. I could, it's probably cheaper. I can move to the middle of nowhere for, a few months or whatever it is. I can't even believe it's 4 years. So my point was, I don't think really anybody cared that Trump was elected as long as it didn't affect them. You know what I mean? I like the trans, LGBTQ. Well, how bad could it be? You know? And now that one trans woman, I was studying a bunch of stuff, and that one trans woman, something's asking about how what the investigation would entail. Okay, I'll get to that in a little bit. Right. But she's all mad because she had a male on her passport, and she's just, well, they start hating on you, and then it takes a lot more to get anything done. Well, I just, it just made sense to go out there. And when you think about how much health care I would receive, you're talking months, right? And I'd be in, like a rehab facility. So I'd also receive all sorts of other care while I'm in. Let's see, is it going? There it goes. Or something. How you doing? So again, the my back was probably just mildly tight over the last so many years, but it also was cramping down at the bottom, and I didn't realize that until now. Now it wasn't a perfect walk. My left was always, since this happened, a little weaker than the right. But again, it probably made no sense not to do the surgery years ago. Because you just get older, and it's not better to do the surgery later. Right. And of course, all of a sudden I grew roots again. Now I don't know if there's a facility around here that is considered, a high level facility or not, but I could look into that. Probably get there quicker. So I have the procedure tomorrow. My doctor's going to order a couple of MRIs. He said if you want, we can schedule you up in 2 weeks instead of 4 weeks. That's the minimum. And then if it didn't work, I can give you trigger point injections. I'd hate to think that this keeps cramping for another 2 weeks. But again, as confident as he is that something's going to happen, it makes me think that was a failed epidural, and I couldn't get back to him for 4 years. What makes me think that it's just the lower lumbar is because I released something in the lower torso, like a cramped muscle. So what that was doing is that was stabilizing the lower lumbar. Right. So that's why it stopped cramping like crazy. Right. Now that does get handled by the ablation, but like I said, I don't think I have enough left in my body without surgery. Right. But I have to go through these procedures and give it a try. Again, I had to start from scratch, and that was a very painful thing to go through, trying to get all those MRIs with having back pain and leg pain. Right. And if they hadn't been in my life, I probably would have smoothed on out to Philadelphia and had it done, within a couple months. Probably within a month. Well, when the back tightens up, my lower legs get stronger. So that's simulating what surgery is going to do, but it's not a healthy thing to happen. Right? Because it essentially starts lifting it unimpinges the nerve to a certain degree. So I should have done it. I just couldn't see anything. As soon as I got rid of that trailer, that spelled disaster, and I didn't even know it. Right. But I mean, they keep coming at you, so you know, I mean, you got to protect your life and your health, right? The only thing that freaks me out is my left side is totally like deflated, and my right side's real cramped, and it's something like that was happening all along. But it's like the left side only knows completely undone to cramp so tight. Which could happen is once uh, because I use a bunch of magnesium oil and other stuff on it to relax it. The steroid could actually repair the muscle enough with massage that it understands to be firm, but not right, not killing my neck and everything. It pulls everything. It's like crazy. Well, you have policy, and that's understood that you're all going to do your policy. But if you rub it in all day, right, then that policy becomes something else. Trying to be out here and walk a little bit. It's a little difficult with the like my left side's completely released, so the left leg's kind of out there. What I can't tell is whether L2 is involved. Right. Nah, what happened is I just got shitty people. Right. Shitty doctors. Well, because this the doctor I have now, he's just like he just doesn't like his forward thinking. He's forward thinking. I don't think it's anywhere. We're going to do this. We did this, and usually this many weeks. So he just keeps thinking it forward. I definitely can feel the sciatic nerve being pinched, and something seems to think a spiritual thing keeps inferring that that's all it is. Most of it. That would have been taken care of 4 years ago. It was probably like it was like right before it was before the COVID was. Just as the COVID, they probably would have forced me to a COVID injection, right? Well, when your body's like tightening up and loosening and tightening up and loosening, it can't heal. It can't get to a point where everything adjusts in, right? That's what it was doing last time, and then it did slow down. But what I found out is it actually cramped up something, and like it's scary because my right side is still cramped up, but I still think that's from the lower lumbar thing, right? Because I'm able to get my left to relax. It's like my left only knows two things: absolutely cramped or absolutely released. So the steroid could cause that to fix, right? Especially with massage. a little bit rough today. Yesterday wasn't too bad. A little concerned, but well, if L2 is affected, that's a 2-level fusion. That's pretty scary. Right. But again, I leave that up to them to figure out. Some car just beeped as I said that. I can feel it on the top of the foot, so that usually means it's the L1. Right. Nah, I have no idea why I couldn't like just think through it. Again, everybody else, again, having their will and say. Like this morning, I mean, it was hell just trying to get to the point. I was trying to find out how far out does this doctor, like, do I have to make an appointment 30 days out? He actually has availability tomorrow. So it's just been a matter of getting out there. Right. Here, I'm stuck here now. Knowing I'm owed millions of dollars. Again, these debts are metaphysical also. It's a burden it's a burden on the presidency. I mean, the government of the United States, whoever's the president, owes me money. Like I said, it doesn't work like you all think, like they're the Democrats and we're the Republicans. No, you're the political class, you're the government. It actually doesn't even feel as warm as yesterday for some reason. But I definitely don't want to spend my day inside after all this inside time I've had. Right. All right. Where's my... That's strange because it doesn't feel as warm as yesterday. And I had shorts on yesterday. Well, I'm glad I called that doctor today because he only has time for this on Tuesdays. It's already almost as warm as it was at peak yesterday. Right, and then when I do all that magnesium oil, yes, yesterday I only did a little bit of it. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. Yeah, like last night I couldn't remember to do the tennis ball thing to release the back. Now, eventually, I think I was able to sleep, but again, what was done to me really caused a disruption. And again, I know, whether my brother realizes it or not, he's receiving, and he's making decisions not based upon his own common sense, but based upon deep state manipulation. Again, I brought up early on that There's also something called the deep states of mind. They're devils, man. Whew. No, I couldn't remember that I had this ball in a sock. Oh, for the investigations. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me earlier. I was talking about the investigations. So you have to do the bait thing to trigger them. If you notice, I'm outside walking around, right? Right. Thank you, Larry. And then also online, you look for, well, you're looking for extortion, right? Pretty much. I mean, it could be you look for anything, but right. So what I do believe that I could release all this with massage and steroid, but I think I have to remove the trigger. I believe the doctor's a good guy that I'm with. Yeah, the only thing that's hold me back from going to Philadelphia is cost and my apartment, of course. And again, that's part of cost. If I were to get my VA increased to 70%, I could do it no problem. I could even leave probably this here and then just come back and get it when I'm finished. Right. That's the kind of life you all generally live. Right. No, there was no way to do anything. I couldn't. I mean, just like I couldn't get to the surgery. They're using disruption technology. Right. I had plans to go back to work if I could. Right. They blackball you from everything, not just the one thing. But for the pain, it's a pretty quiet time right now compared to what it's been. Right. Mm. Now the left leg is it's dragging, just like that Trump thing they were showing. I don't know if what Trump did. Maybe Trump got a steroid treatment at work. I don't know. Right. Nah, it's a kind of weird walk for me, and it's been for 4 years. I have no idea how they got that control over my brain. I mean, obviously it's psyop and having psyop me for decades. Mm. Now I woke up in the middle of the night. My back was totally cramped. So no better time to bait them than them. Find out where they are and send cash after them. Thanks. Yeah, if I could have got to that surgery, boy, I know I've been a lot better off. Well, the issue with that muscle might actually be that it was cramped for an extended period of time. But I don't know if that's it. I really had no help through this thing in Texas. Right. So, like, I had a fight. Like, there's a curse, a will for me not to go to to the Rothman Institute, and that's part of what blocked it. Because this morning I was catching hell trying to find out the how long would it take to get an appointment. The reality being, my brother received that blip first because he was like, "Oh, you don't know, it could be 30, 60 days for an appointment." All right. Yeah, I tell you what, obviously being cramped up is what caused a lot of what was going on. I'm just hoping that it's just the Yeah, my quad seems energized, but like my hamstring. Yeah, it should never happen again. I several times I went to seek the appropriate treatment. Right, and they should have been waived off for the rest of my life, really. Right, but it's a little scary because that whole left leg is blip. Right, so I don't know. Like I don't want to go in there, and I want to go in there, and the doc knows, and we make our decision. Right. See, I couldn't even think that, if you keep it cramped up, it could be L1 and L2 that has to get done. Right. Because that's it. They were insinuating that, just leave it the way it is. I don't even know, for all I know, they got paid to do that. Right. They're there and they did it. I'm going to ask them tomorrow if there's any chance that L2 is also compromised. I mean, it just boggles the mind. Instead of helping me get to the procedures, they're doing that to me, making me tighter, cramping me up more. Agreed. No, I couldn't see it. Just couldn't see. I just all I knew is I could walk, and it's a little funny, but it's this is all it has is what it has to be or whatever. I don't even. It's just like a blank space. They put me to sleep on it. This is what they use disruption technology for. Now my brother has problems on L2, and that extends to his knee. Right. That leg just feels totally weak, front and back at this point. That's why they're supposed to stay away, so I can. I mean, who can manage? Nobody can manage with the money I have. In a situation I had in Texas, and then they go into the life and they do what they did. Like I can think through surgery in Philadelphia. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, the Rothman Institute itself has the power to produce me there. And they had the power or the anti-power to block it. Right. That's what came up. They said, once we approve you for surgery, which you were approved, you should just smooth on in. This is what the government does all day. And, people that get paid through the USAID payments and all the informant payments are doing the same thing. Instead of me 4 years ago smoothing into a surgery and then probably a bunch of other treatment while I'm, laid up in a rehab. Right. I do admit the leg is better than it was, though. Right. Well, I mean, it might be a 2-level fusion now instead of a 1. But he may not see that and may figure it'll pick up once I get the other one done. Right. Which is more likely, but not a sure thing. Well, it's just weird because the left side, like I said, either does a complete nothing or oh, hang on. Yeah, now my leg is just like feels like shit now. Like nothing, front or back. They were not supposed to be in my life, not even one day. Bunch of bullshit they do anyway, pretending that it's the highest level of psychological investigation in the country. Just a setup after setup. Getting rich off of a scam. Well, the fear is that something's causing the back not to energize properly, and that could mean maybe even a neck level disc. Right. I mean, like I said, they weren't supposed to be in my life. This idea where they get to get rich screwing me over. I mean, come on. No, this is. I probably had something similar like this happening for 20 years. I mean, what the hell do they think they're doing? This is not. This is not allowed. You just make a bullshit excuse and say something else is happening while somebody keeps making them richer and richer. I guess I was the only person in that courthouse that didn't know that's how people make money. That the world's just one big scam. But again, when it cramps up like that and lets go, there's no way to know what it's doing. Right. And there's probably no reason for me to get any type of massage till I get some steroid in my back. Correct. How you doing? Good. How are you? All right. No, it's so nice to be out here. I just wish I could walk normally and not have pain, and I can't even worry about what the hell it's going to be. That's why I'm trying to work through this as quick as I can. Kind of wish I'd have did the MRIs though. I would have kept the schedule for those. The Genesis clinic, but they were wanting cash. I had no idea where I was going to end up with those people. Right? They were just so screwed up. Right. How you doing? Like yesterday, it was released and I was fine. And today it cramped up horribly and then released, and then now everything's like stretched again. So my shoulder feels like it's, like a bad shoulder, but it's not. Like yesterday, I was going a few days without it tightening up too bad, and I actually got a really nice, good sleep. And no, I'm walking, but it's painful. That left leg's weak, real weak. I mean, you have to do something, or you get even sicker. Apparently, that's what they would say. Well, he's walking. He seems pretty healthy. Like I said, I just want a semi pain free life where I can walk normal, and then I'll be happy. Again, obviously, years ago, I should have been able just to get to my brother's. I mean, because that was the plan. Now I don't notice the atrophy on my quadriceps, so but again, when you look at my buttocks and that area, it's kind of atrophied because that nerve is kind of poof, right. So I definitely need to get in for surgery. The question is how and when. I was trying to investigate my options around here, but they're not coming up. Nothing's coming up right. Correct. Actually, did make a phone call. I didn't receive anything back. Now I was actually able even to sit in a chair for a little while yesterday, so not sure what I'm looking at here. Possibly if I had taken a salt bath before I went to bed, before I went to sleep, it may have been enough not to keep it from doing that. But again, it just, if I had a bathtub, it probably would have happened. Setting up another bathtub, filling that up, and then getting it drained, and right. I use a pump to drain it. I mean, it's them. One for them, I'd have an apartment with a bathtub. Probably have a house with 2 or 3 bathtubs. Correct. I wouldn't be limping. Yeah, if I had some money, I'd just zip on out of here. Could even leave the apartment. Right. Mm. Now the weird part is, I'm just like massaging my quad, and I can feel it in my front torso. like around my ribs. So I'm not sure what that is. So yeah, my neurology's all kinked around at this point. Should never been allowed to be in my life. Going chasing after people with neurological disorders. Isn't that nice? Meanwhile, the real criminals are out there having a heyday. Yeah, it doesn't help to use all that magnesium. Right. Also. Okay, it has nothing to do with that forever. Thank you, Larry. I need to get an EMG done on all of it. Right. I'm just not sure how to get there. And maybe when they look on the X-ray, that it didn't show anything. Right. That's possible, also. Boy, it's beautiful. I wish I just had my health. Right. I actually have been cramped up or something because my whole head is different now. Right. I had no right to be in my life. No right at all. No, I feel better, and I like that part of me feels better than it has in quite some time. Correct. Right. Correct. The thing is, when it is the part I don't understand, because that muscle over there only understands completely loose or completely tight. It might just be a damage. It could be damage. Then you just restore it. Hopefully, you're going to restore it. Well, we think it's funny to isolate me and no conversations with anybody, right? It's part of their prisoner of war camp. That's how all this happened. Being put in a prisoner of war camp. Well, the right side is somewhat energized, but at this point it's not too tight, and that right side's normal. The left side is kind of droopy, right? And then when it starts tightening up, it doesn't stop; it just keeps tightening, like firming up. Again, I got a ton of magnesium all in it too, so. So again, maybe when we get it healed, it'll learn how to do that, and then it'll be more comfortable. But I'll still get the surgery. That's what I'm seeing because the doctor, the surgeon's touching back, and again, he might not know in his body. So he's like, I'm getting cues now from Rothman. Theoretically, what the hope is going to happen. Again, it's metaphysical, so it may not be real, right? But the cue is that it will heal enough that muscle will form enough to hold everything without cramping, right? Just like the right side, and we'll be able to get the surgery. How you doing? I'm broadcasting, so be careful what you say. I say it to everybody, not that you would say something. See, he's getting big, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Nice weather, right? Right. She's from California. Her husband's a Marine. Correct. Well, the injury, okay, the muscles, the possible theory is that the muscle is damaged and irritated and inflamed. So when it goes to tighten up a little bit, the cramp kicks in because it's irritated. So, he's already, the doctor's already said, look, just remind me tomorrow. We'll schedule you for 2 weeks. We're not going to wait 4 weeks. If you still have cramps, well, because it takes 2 to 4 weeks for the epidural to really kick in, full blast, right, or get the full effect. But he said, well, we can short it to 2 weeks, and right, and I can inject right into that muscle. That's a theory of what's probably happening. So when I put all that stuff on it, it releases it because it's a lot of magnesium, right? And it's just like that would be considered a weak back, and weak backs can manifest the same way as an injury. I found the extra cable for this dude, but it doesn't look like he's in his apartment. I know I had another cable somewhere. Right, so it's trying to adjust my back so it has some, you're supposed to be, again, you're supposed to have some tension on your back, right? Right. So when it does that, it hits a certain point and just goes, and starts freaking out, right, from the inflamedness. So I wasn't treated right last time from pain management, right? Right there. And then I couldn't get back to it for 4 years. I mean, you people got to stay out of my life. I couldn't think. And again, part of it is being cramped up like that. And they're doing that. That's how they treat our veterans. I think part of it is because I figured out what they were doing to people. And again, if you stopped doing it to me, I wouldn't have figured it out. Right. Okay, there. I think partially that's what happened. My back adjusted in, and it could kind of work, but I probably shouldn't have. You know. No, I made move. I was getting ready to. Again, they wheeled me down. I didn't know what was happening. If I could have, if I had years to like counter that, if I had years to counter that, I could have got forward of it. Because I would have to use affirmative, speech. Actually, they're willing me away from this. I have to keep going through it. I'll find it, and I'll get there, right? But I didn't know to do that. I'm just hoping there's nothing in my neck. I think when it comes to that, the majority of it is just like there's a lot of muscle damage and maybe some arthritis, right? Mm. You have to heal St. Luke, the hospital system, because there's like I just looked into it. I just saw there's like a block, like a darkness, so people will see it dark and won't attempt to navigate it, right, or go somewhere else. Yeah, when it cramps up, it causes a lot of other issues, right? Because it's pulling all the other stuff. Right. Hey, if I'm broadcasting, but if I were to leave the area and need to give some stuff away, like some tools, would you be interested at all, or?
Probably just depends on what it is. I mean,
Okay.
I might already have some of them, but might be interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just not sure what I'm doing yet.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Then my whole left side is just like bloop. While the right side, see, the right side cramps, but it doesn't have that spot, that like irritated spot within it. Right. Hopefully, it's not like from a disc or anything. Thank you much. So it actually also gets too tight, but I can actually release it where it's not too tight, but it's still, it's still there, right? But if I put enough magnesium oil on it and work it, I can drop it and make it completely loose, which is probably not normal. Right. But it could also be the lumbar. That's actually initiating that overcramping. Right. Again, that's where the epidural comes in, tries to calm down all those nerves. Right. But at least something got pushed me to call today and send the message. Otherwise, I'd have been I wouldn't have got the appointment on Tuesday. Right. No, after last night, no way am I going to want to wait. Right. Yeah, like if you have lax muscles in the back, that can cause an injury. That's like an injury too. Right. Yeah, I got to get to massage, but I didn't want to I, I, I don't know, but the inference was I think that's what she was hinting. The last massage therapist, I couldn't tell. She was just like, I said, when should I come back? She goes, well, when are you going to do that steroid treatment? I said, in a week. She said, in a week. So I think she was hinting, don't come back to massage until you do that, because it's just not going to work. It's going to go back, Right. I was kind of in an emergency situation initially. I needed the massage to release the neck. Boy, it's some beautiful weather. It's melting all that snow. I think some of the snow is still left over from the last snowstorm. It looks good. It's melting all that snow. I definitely don't want to sit inside. I mean, if they do that VA thing and just say, hey, we messed up, I'm sure the Lord would bless. And so would I. Right? That's what I would do as soon as possible, so I can fire those attorneys. Right. 100%. Thanks, Larry. Well, when the back tightens up a certain way, like on its way to being overcramped, everything starts feeling a little more normal. It's not normal, but right. So I know when he does get that bone off of it, that it's going to do that. But I don't know if L2, I don't know. Right. I mean, I just couldn't even say it. I couldn't even think about it. That's how weird it was. Couldn't even think about it. For some reason, I thought I might heal without it. I guess because the podiatrist said, look, in 6 months you should be fine. But I don't even know why I listened to him. Right. Right. But again, it's just this crazy ass stuff that happens. It doesn't make any sense. That's weird. I never feel comfortable when a guy has like his wife trailing him. Right. Right. Yeah, your wife's supposed to walk next to you. Right. No, I can't even imagine that it's 4 years and all that. I mean, that's like crazy. They just kept me harassed, and you just can't see. Right. Nah, if I again, I was being harassed and everything else in Tyler. and and then Amarillo, and again with the pain, I just wanted to disconnect from that. But I just don't know why I didn't head east. It makes no freaking sense. Other than my brother just kind of cooled to the whole thing. Right. And again, they're not only affecting me, I'm sure they're affecting him. So again, I'd have been way past this fusion. Right. 100%. I was way like kind of healthier when I was 57, 56. Right. But again, I pretty much figured something out when I was even younger. I was like 48. Right. I'm guarantee if my brother had the problem I had, he'd have went right to surgery. Right. That's how it works with people with money. Even if you have insurance, if you don't have money, it's very difficult to get anywhere. Correct. Especially when people are willing you down all day. Why are we willing? Because you're corrupt criminals and devils, demons, antichrist, witches, and sorcerers. Right. So there's no way to tell when it's cramping and releasing as to where you're going to end up. Right. It makes no sense as to how the last 4 years went. But again, they psyoped a certain way and were able to manipulate it the way they wanted to manipulate it. And then it played out. Now, what worries me is my knee feels a little weak too on that left side. Hopefully, over time, it restructures and at least I feel okay enough to. Because it's not like the right side is way different than the left, which could mean, again, like neurological issues further up, but I don't think I had that problem because I had it all released. And yeah, yesterday I was just moving my neck around, doing all sorts of crazy stuff, touching here, touching there, trying to trigger it, and it didn't happen. No, I definitely need it fused. I mean, I'm sure of it at this point. I mean, absolutely sure. The only question is it a 2-level fusion now? That's the way they are. They would want me to wake up and figure it out. Ah, we got you again. Freak out and kill everyone. Because that's what they want. They're freakos, man. They're sickos. Everybody believes it happened. You're putting spells into it. See, that's why I gotta speak sometimes what I spiritually perceive while I'm doing this. Because they're in here going, I can't believe this happened. But it's coming across like somebody's shocked, but it's actually a cue that they're whammying that. Yeah, my right side, it's almost like my left side had a stroke, but I know it didn't. All right. Because it will firm up, but it just keeps going. That's the problem. Right. Well, there's an irritated section on it and everything. That's kind of what happened yesterday. It wasn't perfect, but it firmed up a little bit. So, we'll stay peaceful. Praise God in all